In this video, we are going to see how to add new registration details of WebinarKit to Microsoft Excel. So let's say you're using WebinarKit as an auto webinar solution, and here you want that every time there is a new registration, these details should be collected on Microsoft Excel spreadsheet as a new row. Now how you can do this is by integrating these two applications, and the same can be done using Pabbly Connect software, where this entire process can get automated. Here your trigger application would be WebinarKit and your action application would be Microsoft Excel. Now how you would do it yourself, to understand that, let me take you to my screen. So let us begin with the process. The first thing we have to do is we have to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do this, it will take us to the landing page of the software. Here on the right hand side you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, you can simply sign in. If you are a new user, then you will have to sign up for free. It will not take more than 2 minutes, and at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. Now since I'm an existing user, I'm simply going to click on sign in. And now it has taken me to the All Apps page. Here, since we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect, I'm going to simply click on Sign Access Now. And now we have reached the dashboard of the application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab, Create Workflow. Let's click on this. And as we do that, a dialog box appears which is asking us to name this workflow. So here my objective is that every time there is a new registration through WebinarKit, the information of that particular registrant should be there in my Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to name my workflow as WebinarKit to MS Excel. Now let's click on Create. So as we do that, here we reach another window where we can see two very important events, trigger and action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action is do this. Basically, action is the response of trigger. Now here my trigger application will be WebinarKit. Let's select this. And the next thing is your trigger event. Trigger event is basically the event that will make your workflow start. So here, every time there's a new webinar registration, then only this workflow will work. So I'm going to click on this. And here you can see that you have received this webhook URL, which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect and WebinarKit. Now I'm going to click on this copy. And here we have to follow these steps so that we can set up this connection. So for this, I'm going to take you to my WebinarKit account, and here it is. I've already created a few webinars. You can create your own webinar by clicking on New Webinar. Now as we scroll down here, you can see Webinar Details Excel. So I'm going to click on this drop down, then click on Edit Webinar. And once I do that, I'll straight away go to the option Other. So once I'm here, let's scroll down, and here you can see webhooks. So let's click on this and paste the webhook that you have just copied to your Pabbly Connect page. So once done, now let's scroll down and click on Complete. So here you can see that webinar has been updated. Going back to Pabbly Connect, here it is asking me to do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. Basically, we have to do a mock registration. So let's go back to WebinarKits, come down here. So this is your webinar details Excel. Now let me first show you this quickly. So if I click on Edit Webinar, so I'm just quickly going to show you. This is a webinar video URL. So if you have any video URL, you can always paste it here. If I take you to the details section, see the name is Webinar Details Excel. The title is How to Stay Positive. The duration is 1.5 hours. So if I take you down, there is a presenter, and then here you can see the date is 29th of August 2022 at 12 p.m. So here we are done. Going back to WebinarKit, I have to fill in a registration form. For this, I'm going to click on this drop down and go to Get Links. Let's click on this registration link. If we scroll down, this is Register Now. Let's click on this. And now we have to fill in the information. So let's say the first name is dummy, the last name here is name, then here we have the email address dummy@pabblytudes.com. Let me change this to India. You can change it as per your country. And then we have a number. So let's say the number is 9. And then finally the webinar name. So here what is the name of the webinar? It is how to stay positive. And now I'm going to click on register now. So once done, here we can see that the registration has been successful. Going back to Pabbly Connect, we have received the information. This is our API response. Now I wish that the same information should get registered or should be added as a new row in my Excel spreadsheet. So now I'm going to choose my next application as Excel, Microsoft Excel, and then I'm going to choose the action event as add row to worksheet. Let's click on connect. And here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Excel account. For this, I'm going to click on add new connection and then connect with Microsoft Excel. Here I have already logged into my Excel account. So I just have to pick up the account and finally provided the access so that it can get authorized. And here you can see that this entire process has been authorized. So once done, if I scroll down here, you can see Workbook and Worksheet. So I've already created a workbook. The name is Webinar Registrants. And here the sheet name is Registrants. I have got 5 columns here: first name, last name, email address, phone number, and webinar topic. Now going back to Pabbly Connect, select the workbook. It is Webinar Registrants. And then since we only have one worksheet in that particular workbook, so it will automatically get captured here. So let's look for that. So here you can see that it has already captured the worksheet. Now we have to map this data. Mapping basically means we have already received this information in our previous steps. Now we are just going to retrieve it. So I'm going to click on this, click on new webinar registration, and this is the first name. So then we have the last name. So let's again go to name, and then we have the email address. So this is the email address here. And then we have the phone number. Here we go with the phone number. And finally the webinar topic. So this is the webinar topic. So we have mapped all the information. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. So see here we have received the API response, which shows that yes, this information has been shared with my Excel sheet. So now I'm going to take you to my Excel sheet here and refresh this page. So here you can see that yes, we have received the response, which means that this process is a success. But we need to check if it is also true for real time. For this, I'm going to go back to webinars, and here I'm going to do another registration. So let's click on register now, and here the first name this time is testing123. The last name is, let's say, testing, and then email address here is testing123@pabblytudes.com. I'm going to change this to India, and then we have the phone number, and then we have the webinar name. Let's click on register now. So as soon as we have done that, let's go to our Excel sheet and refresh this page. Here you can see that we have received our response, and this means that we have successfully integrated Pabbly Connect with Microsoft Excel and WebinarKit. So now going back to Pabbly Connect, let's quickly understand the process. So basically here, if you can see, it is just a 2-step integration process where our trigger application was WebinarKit and the event was new webinar registration. The action application was Microsoft Excel and the event was add row to worksheet. I hope you have got no doubts. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to this workflow which is given in the video description. And also you can clone this workflow and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any doubts or you have any suggestion or advice for us, you can always write to us. I hope this was helpful. To watch more such videos, you can always subscribe to our channel, which is there on YouTube. If you have any queries, you can write to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you want to know our pricing plans, then you can visit us at this particular site. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe if you have liked this video.